What is up, everybody? Isaac here, Civil Engineering Academy. Excited to be with you on another podcast episode. Thanks for liking and subscribing to this stuff or sharing it with a friend, anyone that is a civil engineer or a friend out there that wants to know how to become a civil engineer or help them on their journey to become a professional engineer. We're here to help you. Today, I bring on an awesome guest. Her name is Samia Bhuiyan. She came from Bangladesh and moved to Canada, where she earned her P.Eng. She's a civil engineer specializing in structural engineering. She got her P.Eng. in Canada, moved to Iowa, I believe, where she got her P.E. out of the way, and she ended up using our course and material to get her P.E. done. But she has a unique story in how she earned her P.Eng., her P.E., and also her PMP, project management professional, all while kind of juggling these moves, raising a family. She has 2 kids as well. It's a lot. She is super busy, and I just wanted to know how she juggled all this, how she was able to ace her PE exam, dealing with all of this, and just kind of get her journey into how she became a professional engineer here in the United States. So without further ado, we'll get to our interview with Samia. If you need help with your engineering exams, whether it's FE, PE, your CFM, we also have our California Seismic and Survey stuff. If you need help with any of that, check us out at civilengineeringacademy.com. We have some good stuff there to help you out. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to Samia. It's coming right up. All right, we are live and recording. Samia, thank you so much for jumping on to share your journey about passing your PE exam with me today.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
Well, I'm excited to chat with you. You're a member of our course, the Ultimate Civil P Review course, but I mean, even before all of this, you were a P.Eng. in Canada. Is that correct?
Right, yeah. I am a P.Eng. in Canada, yeah.
Okay. So I always love to start these just talking about your own history. So how did you, why don't you describe where you're from? How did you get here? What do you do for work? Why did you choose civil engineering as a profession? So why don't you dive into how you got here?
Okay, so as I mentioned that I am originally from Bangladesh, and I did my bachelor's in civil engineering, focusing on structural engineering in Bangladesh, and because like I was good in math and science in school, and that basically led to my engineering career. My elder brother is also engineer, so that also another motivating reason to choose engineering career. So yeah, and
all civil engineers or different?
He is chemical engineer. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and before entering into the engineering career, I did not know much about engineering, but when I dive into it, I love it. So yeah, so I do not. I'm happy to have a career in engineering. Yeah.
And so take me through, you graduated in Bangladesh.
Right.
Where did you go from there? How did you get your P.Eng. and then eventually come to the U.S. and earn your
PE? So after my marriage, my husband was a permanent resident of Canada. So he was in US as well, so we were a couple of months in US, and then we moved to Canada because the permanent residency, and there I did my master's in structural engineering. And after my master's, I started working there, and after 3 years of work, I was eligible to get a license here. And I did. So in Canada, the licensure is easier than here. You have to do an ethics exam. So it teaches about ethics. And I passed that exam and become a professional engineer in Canada about 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. So it was, I'd say, easier for me because I was 12 years younger that time, and the exam was easier. So, but during my PE exam, I did pass my PE last year, so I studied by myself as well as take help on the courses like civil engineering academy and few other, and so those helped me motivated to do this journey, and I was able to pass it. Yeah, and so it like PE exam is different from PE. It covers engineering problems, so it was quite challenging for me, but I enjoyed the journey to learn new things and able to crash it. Yeah.
That's amazing. So I want to back up just a little bit. So you're in Canada, and then you came to the United States. So did you find work here, or how did you move from those two?
Yeah, so I was in Canada working in structural engineering field, and my husband got a job in here, I guess 2019. He moved here, and his company sponsored us, as well as I also get a job in a structural engineering firm in 2022. And so I also moved in 2022 after getting the job. And we first moved in Iowa, so there I started the job. And during the job, I also getting prepared for my P exam. And and then I did my exam last year. Yeah, and and I started my new job here in Illinois in that LNG tank facility.
Wow. So just to unpack a couple things. So when you were in Canada and you earned your P.Eng, you were married. Did you have any children at that time?
Yeah, I have one kid at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you're in the US. You want to get your PE license, but now you have two kids?
Yes, yeah.
So life is really busy.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious, what tips would you have for someone that is in the same boat as you, that has kids, that needs to pass this exam? How did you make the time to do this?
So basically, if I repeat one of your podcast earlier, that you need to like define your goals, as well as tell your family member, friends that no, I am preparing for that exam. I need extra time. I need their support. So basically, I would say that those stuff help me to get some time to study and and do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to know someone else listens to this podcast out there in the world. So you found our podcast?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it's hard to carve out time for this exam. It's almost another part-time job.
Yes, yeah.
For it.
Yeah. I totally understand this. Yeah.
Okay, so let's and you were able to get the exam done and over with in one try, is that correct?
I did it in the second try. First try, I was not prepared at all. I just wanted to get familiar with the system and how the exam goes. But then the second time, I understand their system, and it helped me to direct me the proper way to get accustomed with the problems and things. So yeah, I did crash it in the second try.
And you took it there in Illinois, is that correct?
I took it in Iowa. So.
Oh, in Iowa.
Yeah.
Any weird requirements that they had? I'm assuming it's similar to other states.
No. If you have a P.Eng in Canada, you can directly apply to your province in Canada. Like I'm a P.Eng of Alberta, so I can apply directly through Alberta to give the exam. So there was no any requirement to appear the exam at the time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nice. And then I'm assuming you took the structural depth exam.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So the first time you took it, you were kind of testing the waters. You saw the format of the exam. You saw how they tested you. You still give it probably your best effort, I'm assuming, that first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious, but had you taken a review course before that first time, or did you just go self-study and take it?
So in the first time, I took one course, and that course was too much in depth of structural engineering, I would say. And yes, and I was a little bit confused about the direction I would follow to crash this exam. So after the first try, when I was not able to make it, I took your course only mainly to do the review exams, like the practice test.
Mm-hmm.
So I did those exams, practice exams, as well as go through your video modules, which helped me to I would say that your videos are more simpler way of explaining what need to be explaining the problems, and it was I would say that easier. So it made things simpler to me. So I would say that helped me to get the confidence and to reappear the exam. So I guess after I did not pass the first time, I did give the exam within 3 months, second time, and I was able to crash it. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm happy you found success using our program.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to give you just what you need to help pass the exam. We're not a college course.
Yeah.
We're not going to dive into every little thing. Yeah. But that's great. So if somebody came to you and say they were frustrated with taking the exam multiple times, what advice would you give to them?
I would say that do the review course, one of the review course available, maybe your one, or if they find any better one, that one. As also follow the NCS reference and book and their practice exams. So I guess if someone follow NCS rules and regulation, their practice exams, their books, as well as a review course in addition, it is, I would say that they can crash it. Yeah.
Okay. And I this question just kind of popped up in my head, but you mentioned because you had the P.Eng, you didn't have any problem registering for the PE exam because they looked at that P.Eng almost as you're qualified to go take the PE already. You didn't have to go prove a lot of the background education and things of that nature, or
I have to verify my bachelor's degree certificates through NCS, and I would say that it is not that tough. So they evaluate my back home degree as well as Canadian master's degree. So I did that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to talk a little bit about practice exams. So you talked about how the biggest reason why you joined our courses is to get more practice exams, which I think is great.
Yeah.
So practice exams are a huge component to trying to, building up the confidence and the skill to ace this exam. Mm-hmm. Did you take the practice exams timed to a real testing environment, or did you work on homework problems? What advice would you give to someone about practice exams?
So I did it as a problem solving module. I do not do it as a time test. So I did it whenever I got time. I did for example 5 problems at a time, then take a break and then do 5 problems. As I mentioned, that I am quite busy, so I do not have that luxury to do a timed exam in a day. Yeah, so that's why I do it that way.
And then as part of our course, we offer a CBT simulator, like a real testing environment exam. Were you able to, how did you set that up for yourself? Was it over a weekend that you tried to go sit and take it, or how did you do that?
Yeah, so no, I try to study every day, at least an hour or two. So I did it that way. So I break it into small modules and like do few of the problems today, and the next day, next 10 problems other day. So I did it that way. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good tips. When you took the exam, did you find that there was any weird surprises? Did you think the exam was tricky?
Yes, yeah. So I can share you one experience that I gone through. In one or two questions, none of the answer I was found that are correct. So I was little bit become nervous and kind of spent some time. And later on, and I spent quite a bit of time to solve that. But later on, I heard from my friends that sometimes some questions may be like, it is very rare situation, but there may be a situation where there is a mistake in the question, like there, as it is CBT exam, maybe the right answer is not there. And so it can happen. And if I heard that if this happens, most likely the NCS does not exclude that question from marking. So the bottom line is, don't get nervous to get this kind of questions if you get this kind of questions during an exam.
So almost like they give you a test question that has no correct answers, but they're just testing you out, testing out a new question.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's also frustrating when you know you're trying to do your best and you want an answer on everything. You can imagine that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by the amount of theory questions on the exam? Was there a lot, or was it like there's not that many?
Yeah, there's a couple, like kind of, I would say a lot compared to what I expected. So theory question is kind of, I would say that. So in order to master the theory courses, I would say that we should understand the NCS handbook. So maybe most of the theories questions, if you go over the handbook very well, you can able to answer them. So there are lots of theory questions, but you should NCS reference handbook helps to get those questions.
That's fantastic. So I guess if someone wanted to ask you why they would join our course, what were some things that you enjoyed about our course? As I mentioned, that your content is very simple and easy to understand, which I like most. And it is focused on NCS reference handbook. And if someone wants to crash the exam in an easy way, I would say that your course is most preferable, might be. Yeah. Good. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, we try hard to make it as simple as possible without making it simpler than it needs to be. So
right. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah. Now you've gone even further. I believe you have your PMP as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have a PMP certification as well.
So if people don't know what that is, could you briefly just tell people what that is and what it takes to get that one too?
So PMP is the professional
project management professional.
Project management professional. Sorry.
I gotcha.
So during my practice of structural engineering, I realized that lots of time we need to handle projects from conception to the finish line. So it's kind of managing the project from the beginning to the ending. And we have definitely resource and limitation within the project scope. So in order to optimize my skill, like optimize my performance, I decided to do the project management professional certification to master the project manager roles and responsibility. So that is why I decided to do that PMP certification. But it is a lot. So I suggest that like not everybody need it, but if someone really wants to do it, he or she can do it. But it is kind of a lots of study and lots of materials, though they are not engineering problems, but they are mainly cover the how project runs and also the roles and responsibility of a project manager.
Would you recommend that those with a PE pursue a PMP? Do you think it's just as valuable as a PE? Do you think it's just equivalent? Do you think it just is complementary?
It is a complementary, yeah. Yeah, I would say. If someone wants to do it, he or she can do it, yeah. But PE is the mandatory, and the PMP is, I would say, complementary.
Yeah, I see people going the project management route. Usually on qualifications, they like to see that PMP credential as well, which I know is a lot of extra work. There's a lot of continuing education involved with that one too, and you have to pass an exam for that one as well. Yeah. So did you get that both for your PE?
Sorry?
Did you earn your PMP while you were in the United States?
No.
You got it before your PE?
I did my PMP back in Canada, yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. Well, that's neat. I don't see too many with that credential, so I do think it's complementary, and I think it can help an engineer as well. But
yeah, it is complementary, and like it is basically if someone wants to dive into the project management branch, so then he or she can try it. Yeah,
that's neat. Well, I wanted to ask you another couple questions, and one of them is, what advice would you give to any women that are considering this field of engineering?
Like there are not many women in structure, like engineering field as a whole. So, I would love to see more women professionals in engineering, and so we can prove that we can also do what a man can do, and if we get the proper environment and the opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah, I know it can be a challenge, but if you have a goal to do it, you can do it. You know, you jump through the same hoops and the same goals that everyone else does. So that's really neat. Well, what's next for you, Samia? Is there anything else on the horizon?
So I am looking for to do SC like SC licensure, because in Illinois you need to have SC licensure in order to stamped projects. So I am looking forward to do that licensure but I'm not very hurry. I will do it in a slow and steady pace, because now there are 4 exams instead of 2. So I will take my time. Yeah.
Yes, that one I've heard is a doozy. So it's going to take some time to do that one. That's awesome that you have a goal to do that next. So congratulations on that. I have a brother that's an SE. I have not earned my SE, but I do know the challenges surrounding getting that. So I applaud you for doing that. It's a valuable resource.
Yeah.
Well, neat. Well, is there anything else that you would advice that you would give to anybody preparing for their PE exam?
I would say that don't lose hope. If you can stick your goals and keep moving on. Like if you try, if you cannot pass it in the first time, you can pass it second or next time. So don't lose hope. Yeah, and
Great advice.
yeah, steer your vehicle in the direction.
Keep on going.
Yeah.
Yes, I've mentioned this before, but it seems like a lot of times half the battle can be our mental attitude when we're taking these exams, especially if you're repeating it over and over again. So that can be a challenge, but awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this, Samia. Appreciate you doing this with me. And maybe we'll look forward to chatting in the future after you get that SE.
Sure, yeah, it will be a pleasure for me to chat with you again after I clear my SE. But I do not know when I can do it. I will do it when I have the time to do it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this. We'll catch you later.
Sure, yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.